We'll still get a good night's sleep because it is super duper quiet here. Good morning. So we are getting an early start today. Slept okay last night, but there were like these random gusts of wind that would get like everything all flapping crazy. Woke me up a couple times. Shook the car a little bit too. I think John had the same thing, just sleeping in the back of his 4Runner. So we're headed out to Furnace Creek early this morning. They open at 8 o'clock because we want to get another camping permit for Echo Canyon this time. So hopefully we'll be the first in line, get that done, squared away, and then we'll make some breakfast and then get our day really started. So maybe I'm just ignorant city folk, but I've never seen this in sandstone before. It's like little tiny, like splinters almost. And it's actually wood. I grabbed one of them. Interesting. Very interesting. Time to get out of here. Got that special pass for Echo Canyon. So we're gonna be camping there tonight. I also asked the ranger there while we were at the visitor center for some other tips on where to camp. And he says pretty much anywhere that's not like Death Valley proper, you could pull off on the road and camp without any special permits or anything. And I didn't know that. So good thing I asked the ranger because he showed us a spot that he likes near the Panamint dunes. So we're going to check that out tomorrow night. That'll be pretty cool to camp next to some sand dunes. So we're going to get some gas, pick up some groceries at the general store here, and then we're going to go check out 20 Mule Team Canyon. We'll see you there. All right, we're about to pull into 20 Mule Team Canyon, and we're just gonna find a place that we can set up for maybe like an hour, make some breakfast, chill for a little bit, and just take it nice and slow today. So I will check in with you guys as soon as we found the nice spot. Meep, meep. 20 Mule Team Canyon is named after a brand of cleaner that was first manufactured around the turn of the 19th century and is still sold today. Teams of 20 mules were used to move millions of pounds of sodium bicarbonate from remote mines in badland areas of Death Valley to the railroad at Mojave. Originally, teams of 10 mules were used, but the long trek was too much for even the sturdiest of mules, and a man named Ed Stiles came up with the idea of hitching two 10-mule teams together. Ed's theory resulted in a 100-foot-long mule team that took 10 days to carry 10 tons of borax across the desert. In 1894, a steam engine was brought in to replace the mighty 20-mule teams, but it quickly broke down and it was towed back to town by the very mules it tried to replace. I smell sabotage by sneaky mules. If you're an old-school Star Wars fan, you might recognize this landscape here. That's right, Jabba the Hutt lived in Death Valley, not Tatooine. It's a good thing that Sarlacc pits aren't real, because I was wearing my Boba Fett hat this entire journey. So, no good place to stop there on 20 Mule Team Canyon. A couple pull-offs, but like anytime a vehicle would roll by, like it looks like it would just get dust, sand, dirt, whatever, all over our breakfast. So we're gonna find a different spot. Maybe we'll just shoot over into Echo Canyon already, look at our camp spot, just do breakfast there and come back out and have some fun. We're gonna decide and let you know what happens. So we found a little spot on the way to Dante's View since 20 Mule Team Canyon didn't work out. It's just this little dirt track right off the road heading up to that scenic point. So we're gonna stop here, we're gonna make some breakfast, hang out for a little bit, and just kind of unwind for the morning. Not the greatest spot in the world, but you know what? It's quiet. It's like a good half a mile from the road, and you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, kind of, and that's a good thing. So we got our little coffee station going on right here on my rear bumper. We got the breakfast station going on over here, just some sausage, and we're frying up some Spam. I don't know how many of you like Spam, but John and I love it. Comment below. What do you think about Spam? So we're gonna finish this up, chow down, and head on out of here. We'll catch up to you when we get to Dante's View. Belly's full. Let's roll. So, I don't know who Dante was, but man, he got a nice view up here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Too late. So way down there is Badwater Basin where we were at yesterday. Unfortunately, the road is closed after that because it looks like there's some kind of like a crater right there. That looks pretty interesting from up here. Don't know what it is though. But man, that is one big desolate valley. And if I zoom in a little in that direction, you see tons of like little tiny trails like going wiggling through there. Over here too. Just another reason to come back. Death Valley. Pretty dang awesome. So that was well worth the stop. We're gonna head back down the mountain now, go check out some other stuff before we head into Echo Canyon and scope out our campsite for the night. So we're coming from about 5,500 feet up at Dante's View back there, down to sea level again. I don't know about you guys, but I always have trouble popping my ears, getting that pressure out. Like big gulps of water don't do it. Just swallowing alone doesn't do it. Chewing gum doesn't do it. The only thing that seems to work consistently is yawning, but faking it till you make it while yawning doesn't really work. So if you guys have any other suggestions on how to do that, because you know it's really bothersome when you can't get rid of that pressure in your ear, let me know in the comments below. I would highly appreciate that. It happens every time I go up and down mountains or I'm on an airplane or anything. So if you got a good tip for me, I appreciate you. All right, we're leaving Zabriskie Point right now and headed to Echo Canyon. So we'll see ya when we get there. We're gonna get to camp super early today, just have the opportunity to chill, because half of camping should be chilling and we haven't done much of that. So we're gonna get there like probably by 2 o'clock and just kind of enjoy the afternoon in some peace and quiet. We're dealing with some road work up ahead. It's kind of hard to see. Don't know how long we're gonna be here, so we're just chilling on the road. I think they're clearing like some debris, like gravel or whatever on the road, but yeah, got a big line of cars behind us. We're just gonna hang tight, and we are literally like 1,500 feet from where we need to turn, so we'll be there soon though. So that right there is our awesome spot for the night. I'm having trouble like trying to capture the scale of this place on video. It's kind of hard. Let me flip the camera around here. So let me show you around. We have about 1,500 square feet of space right here. There's John's rig. There's my rig. There's a big rock. There's a bunch of less big rocks. You are completely off the grid. There is no running water, there's no electricity, there's no natural gas. From what I understand, the school districts here aren't so great either. But you do have some pretty nice views. Hey John.
Yo.
Hey, they want to know what we're having for dinner tonight.
We're having beef stew.
Beef stew? Damn, that's fancy. Beef stew.
Beef stew.
On a chilly night. Well, chilly for us because, you know, we're from California.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna enjoy that. And I'll see you in a little bit. Oh yeah, beef stew at camp. Look at that. Come on. You know you want some of that. Good morning, guys. So we're packing up early this morning because it started blowing like crazy. The canyon winds are wild. It blew over our camp table that we left out overnight, and at like 6 in the morning, John got up, secured that down, but it started blowing at about 3:30, and just, you know, my tent flopping like crazy. So it didn't get much sleep. So we're gonna head down the hill and find a little protected area where the winds aren't so crazy, and then think about breakfast and all that stuff. But we're gonna hit up some sand dunes today, and then hopefully camp by some sand dunes. Like the ranger yesterday told me that the Panamint dunes have like areas where you can camp on the roadside, so we're gonna check that out. So that is how I keep fresh water during a longer trip. That blue jerry can, that's a lifesaver, which is a water filter also. And the bottom one is just a Scepter, normal Scepter water can. So I filter through the lifesaver into the Scepter, and then just top off the lifesaver again, and that is 10 gallons of potable water. You can see that right there. There's a little dust devil right there. Minor single owner. Alright, so it is crazy windy here. You just saw some of the dust devils in the dunes over there. So we're gonna actually just head out. We're not gonna camp here. It's like super windy and it's gonna make it impossible to like make food or anything on the stove. Let's head on down to Trona Pinnacles spend 2 nights there, and then find some adventure. Let's go. John mentioned over the radio that this place kind of reminds him of Mario Kart, so
Let's go.
the Trona Pinnacles. This otherworldly landscape is one of the most unique geological features in all of California's deserts. These odd geological formations are known as tufa pinnacles, and they formed underwater somewhere between 10,000 to 100,000 years ago. The Trona Pinnacles area is part of Searles Lake, an endorheic dry lake that once held brackish water over 100,000 years ago. The tufas are composed primarily of calcium carbonate with a dash of algae. Sometime during the Pleistocene Ice Age, massive runoff spilled from the Sierra Nevada into a chain of quote-unquote inland seas. And this system of interconnected lakes stretched all the way from Mono Lake down to the Death Valley area. Some people see shapes like faces and rabbits in the tufas. All I saw was this giant doggo trying to catch some morning rays. No matter what you find here, you definitely feel like you're on some sort of interplanetary journey. What's up, everybody? The sun's starting to go down. As you can see, that beautiful sunset in the background. We are in Trona Pinnacles, but it was so windy earlier that we just jumped in my truck and ate some snacks and just hung out for a little bit. Now we're making some dinner, and the wind died down a little bit, but it's supposed to pick back up again, and it was gusting pretty good earlier. So we improvised a little bit today. Let me show you what I'm talking about and flip the camera around. Well, we've got the stove in the back of my rig on some little silicone, I don't even know what to call those, but you know what I'm talking about, to protect the platform that I have back there from the heat. And we're just boiling up some soup right now for dinner. Like I said, keeping it real simple because the wind is actually starting to pick up again right now. I don't know if you can hear it blowing. So we're gonna finish making dinner. We're gonna jump in my truck, chow down, And magically, I have cell phone signal here somehow. So we're probably going to stream something while we're eating and call it an early night. Tomorrow, so far, the game plan is to hit up a spot called Red Rock Canyon State Park, which is on the way home, so that's super convenient. They also have some cool rock features there and what looks like to be a old mining tunnel that you can actually go in. So we'll check that out. If the plans change, I'll let you know where we're going. But right now, that seems to be what we're going to do. I'm not going to film anymore tonight just because I'm pretty miserable in the wind. Wind is like my camping arch nemesis. So I will see y'all in the morning. So this morning I wake up and then I open up my tent and John's at the bottom of the ladder and he says to me,
At least there wasn't any wind last night.
so the plan remains the same. We are headed to Red Rock Canyon State Park. We're gonna get out at Trona Pinnacles here and I'll see you there. Getting my steps in early. So we're at Red Rock Canyon State Park. It's a paid spot, but a couple RVs around, not too many people. And for our last night of camping before we go home, I think it's nice that we can actually have a wood fire today. I'm gonna have some lunch here at our campsite real quick, and then check out those two mines that are just a little bit north of here. Fire rings here and there. So people have been trying to camp up in here too. Yeah, they don't really go nowhere. They're just more like cul-de-sacs.
need headlamps and flashlights after all. Stopped filming for a second because I thought the tunnel was just going to keep going forever. But this is one end of it. It's like a T intersection at the end of the long straight we were going through. And this is what you got at the end. Not a bad view. That's what we just came out of.
A monument to determination and perseverance. William Henry Burro Schmidt took 38 years to hand dig this half-mile long tunnel, completed in 1938.
Hey, good evening, guys. We just finished dinner and we're just sitting down. I'm gonna call this new segment post-trip download. This is our last evening. We're still at Red Rock Canyon for the night, and I'm just sitting down with John. We took this trip together this time to Death Valley and the surrounding area. And I'm just wondering, John, what was your favorite part of this trip?
There's a couple places. Dante's view was great.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the vortex thing in the middle of the desert, that was cool.
Oh, the Dust Devils?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
You know what? I really liked that first night at Alabama Hills.
Oh, yeah.
I think, like, from everything I've ever seen, either on YouTube or, like, anywhere else about Alabama Hills, it's, like, exactly what I expected.
It is beautiful there.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
And that spot you found was, like, perfect. It was, like, secluded and, like, well protected from any wind.
It was luck, really.
Yeah?
You know.
Sometimes that's what counts, right?
Yep.
What about Death Valley? What do you think of Death Valley in general?
I like the desert.
Yeah.
I love the desert.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a national park, and I'm
Okay.
not a big fan of national parks. It's the people, the crowd.
Right.
Luckily, Death Valley is still one of those places where not a lot of people visit.
Right. I mean, this is supposed to be the peak season, right, for Death Valley?
But I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, yeah, the guidebook stuff, yeah, they're great, but kind of want to get away from things, you know?
Yeah.
Unwind.
Right.
So,
Right.
but seeing,
Well, like, we got a pretty dope spot in Echo Canyon that one night, right?
yeah. That
Other
was-
than, and I know I'm complaining about this whole trip with the wind. Other than the wind for me,
I don't know what he's talking about. I have no clue what he's talking about.
There were like these random gusts of wind that would get like everything all flapping crazy. Woke me up a couple times. It started blowing like crazy. The canyon winds are wild. So it is crazy windy here. The wind is actually starting to pick up again right now. I don't know if you can hear it blowing.
At least there wasn't any wind last night.
but the actual, like, spot was, like,
That was good.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, the nighttime view and everything with the
Yeah.
stars, like, through the canyon. Like, I think that was a pretty cool spot. Not Alabama Hills cool, but pretty darn cool, too.
Yeah.
What about least favorite? What is your least favorite part of the trip?
The people.
The people, yes. Crowds.
But you know, that's a normal thing. But the salt thing was such a disappointment.
Oh, Badwater Basin. I don't know if you guys been there before. Go on, I don't know, whatever, Google, right? And search for images of Badwater Basin in Death Valley. Some of you probably know what it is. It's like this salt flat where it forms these hexagonal
yeah.
shapes, yeah, with the salt.
I'm so
and,
looking forward to that.
Yeah. I didn't do any research, so I didn't even really know what it was. And then he showed me, and I was like, oh, yeah, I've seen pictures of that on the internet or something like that before, right? But, yeah, it looked nothing like those photos. Maybe because of all that rain they got in August, washing some of that away, or the crazy wind, or I don't know what, but it looked nothing like the photos. So a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, considering I hiked all the way out there, you went halfway.
Yeah, so that's a funny story. We start walking out there to the salt fields there.
That was my fault, by the way.
And I'm thinking, like, I should just ask one of these guys walking back, like, is it worth walking all the way out there? So I asked the dude, and he's like, yeah, sort of. So he didn't really sell it to me very well. So I turned around and hiked it back. But John went all the way and saw what he saw. Yeah, and that's the end of that.
I guess the only thing is, if those hexagonal things were there, it'd be great. But at the same time, you're at the lowest point in Northern America.
Yeah, what is it like?
282.
Yeah, 280 feet below sea level. Yeah, which is
so that was cool.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy. Yeah. Anything you learned from this trip about yourself? Anything like that?
I like to unplug. I'm not looking forward to going back into
right
cell signal, because you had cell signal.
I
at
did.
Some parts.
I did, yeah, and I did check a couple things, but I think what I learned was something that's been like this constant theme on all these trips lately, which is that it's not about the destination and it's about the journey. And I enjoyed this journey this time with my best friend John here. So we'll catch you guys on the next trip. I have no idea when that's going to be or where that's going to be, but we will definitely bring it to you. So,
he doesn't want to go to the snow, so
yeah, I'm not snow camping. No way. Not until like I get like a propane, like a Propex heater or like a diesel heater or something. Like there's no way. Like look at us. It's not even cold out and we're bundled up like it's like freezing or something because we're California weather wussies. But that's gonna do it for this trip. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll join me for the next one. And this is Roger, over and out.